Okay, so now let's proceed to our second clash of talents for today. Alone we do so little, together we can do so much. It's ensemble time. So this will be your second clash of talents for today. So we will divide the class into 3 groups. So we have here the music group, the performing arts group, and the applied arts group. The Jamboard link will be sent here in our chat box. So let me send first the Jamboard link. So let me send first the Jamboard link here. So that will be the link for our ensemble time activity. We have here the music group, the performing arts group, and the applied arts group. So you are going to organize the data by dragging the pictures to each corresponding categories. Once done, type finish on the chat box. So the overall leaders will be type finish on the chat box. Once you are done, you only have 2 minutes to finish this activity. If you understand, kindly type 0. If not, click the raise hand button. Okay? So you are going to organize the data here. We have here the data, the musical instrument that music students have. We have here 14 different instruments. So you are going to place each instrument to their respective family. We have percussion instrument. These are instruments that produce sound by tapping, hitting, or being scraped. Percussion instruments. Next, how about the string instrument? These are instruments with strings, or these instruments produces sounds by the vibration of stretched strings. Next, you also have here the woodwind family or the woodwind instruments. These are instruments that made up of wood that produces sounds by blowing air into or across the mouthpiece. Next, you also have here the brass instruments, or these instruments are made up of brass or metal that produce sounds by blowing or by vibration of the lips as the players blows into a tubular resonator. Okay, you only have 2 minutes to do 2 minutes to do this activity. So let's try first to go to the Jamboard. So we have here the music group. So kindly place each one. So your 2 minutes starts now. Okay, so you are going to place each instrument in their corresponding family. So we have percussion, string, woodwind, and brass. Once done, the overall leader will type finish on the chat box. So we have here the LaSalle Chamber Orchestra and Las Verdes de Angono, the Applied Art at the Music Group. They are already done. So kindly go back to our classroom now. You are done. How about the Performing Arts Group and the Applied Arts Group? performing arts and applied arts are already done. So you have, okay, time's up. So go back now to our classroom. Let us now check. So let me first change the from editor to only viewer so that you can change your answers. Let's have now the first one, the music group. So we have here the music group. They placed 5 instruments under the percussion, also 5 instruments under the string, 2 instruments under woodwind, and 2 under brass. So let's try to check. So we have here for the percussion instrument, these are the instruments that produces sounds by hitting, tapping, or being scraped. So we have here cymbals. Cymbals produces sounds by hitting. Next, so this will be a percussion. So this will be correct. Next, we have here the tambourine. Tambourine is also belong to percussion. Check. Gong is also belong to percussion. Xylophone is also belong to percussion. Very good. As well as the drums. So, there will be 5 instruments under the percussion instrument. Let's see from the other groups. Let's have the performing arts group. Performing arts group only plays 3 instruments under the percussion instrument. So we have here tambourine, drums, and xylophone. This is correct. How about the applied arts? We have here 5 instruments. So we have here drums, gong, cymbals, tambourine, and xylophone. So this is also correct. Okay, next, for the string instrument, so these are instruments with strings. So we have here bajo, bass, violin, guitar, and electric guitar. So these are all string instruments. So correct. Next, for the performing arts group, we also have here 5 instruments. Very good. And the applied arts group, they also have 5 instruments under this string instrument. So, very good also. Next, how about the woodwind instrument? Woodwind instruments are instruments made up of wood. So, flute is made up of wood. So, this is correct. How about clarinet? Is clarinet made up of wood? Anyone? Click the raise hand button if you want to answer. Is clarinet made up of wood? Yes, Angela?
No po.
No. Therefore, saan natin ilalagay si clarinet? Yes, Alexa?
Brass instruments po.
Okay, so we can place the clarinet in the brass instrument since this is made up of brass or metal and it also produces sound by blowing. So this will be in the brass instrument. Next, let's try the performing arts group. So trumpet is also a brass instrument, clarinet, and saxophone. These are all brass instruments. Next, for the applied arts, again, clarinet is a brass instrument. So we should put the clarinet here in the brass instrument. So lastly, we have the brass instrument. So we have here saxophone, trumpet, and clarinet belong to brass instrument. So we have percussion instrument 5. Yes, Lara?
Ma'am, just to clarify po about sa clarinet, woodwind po siya, considered po siya as woodwind. Woodwind po siya kasi po, gawa po siya sa kahoy dati. Ngayon po, nag-improve na lang po sa plastic para magkamit ng maayos.
Okay, Lara, thank you for the information. But for this time, let's try to consider clarinet as the brass instrument. Thank you for the information, Lara. Okay, so we have here the percussion instrument. We have 5. In string instrument, we also 5. Woodwind, we have 1. And the brass instrument, we have here 3. So now let's proceed again to our presentation. Let's try to complete the table here. So we have here the musical instrument family and its number of instruments. So how many instruments are in the percussion family? Anyone? Yes, Alexa.
5 po.
Okay, we have here 5. How about the string instruments? Yes, Julian.
5 pa rin po.
We also have 5. How about the woodwind instruments? Yes, EM.
Ma'am, 3 po.
Again, woodwind.
3 po.
3. Woodwind. Let's have Casey Bell.
2 po.
2. Again, clarinet is under the brass instrument. How many instruments are there in the woodwind? Let's have John Bryle.
Ma'am, 1 po.
Okay, we have here only 1 instrument under the woodwind. How about the brass instrument? Let's have Rafael.
3 po.
Okay, we have here 3 under the brass family. So now, what can you say about the table or what conclusion can you make out of this given table? Anyone? What can you say about the table here? What conclusion can you make? We can make here most of the instruments that the music students have are percussion and string with 5 instruments each. We can also conclude that there is only 1 instrument that the music students have under the woodwind instrument. Okay? So now, aside from table, what do you think is the way we can present data? Again, what do you think is another way in presenting data? Let's have Aris.
Graph po.
Graphs. Very good. We can represent data using different types of graph. And that will be our lesson for today. But before identifying the different types of graph, let us first define graph. So what is a graph? A graph is a pictorial representation. When we say pictorial, it is an illustration or with pictures to represent a data in an organized manner. So graphs are usually formed from various data points which represent the relationship between 2 or more things. So now let's have your third clash of talents for today. Roses are red, violets are blue. To identify or to know different graph, let's color coding. So you are going to decode the message given in each color. Okay? If you want to answer, you are going to click the raise hand button. Let's begin with the red one. We have here set of pictures. You are going to identify the graph by decoding the message here. This picture plus this picture minus the word photo and the Y. Anyone? Anybody who has an idea what type of graph will be decoded with this message? Click the raise hand button if you want to answer. So what do you think is this picture? Let's focus first with this picture. What do you think this picture? What it is? What is it? Anyone? Let's focus first with this picture. Let's have Alexa.
Circle po.
So we have here the circle. Very good. How about this picture? We can see here a camera. Yes, Daniel.
Photograph po.
We have here photograph or photography. Then, after that, we are going to subtract the word photo. So, we have here photo minus photo and y. Therefore, what will be the first graph we have? Let's have Angela.
Ano po? Circle graph po.
Very good. So, we have here the circle graph. So, this is what a circle graph looks like. As you can see here, it is a circle divided into sections. So, what is a circle graph? It is a circle, like what I've said a while ago. It is a circle divided into sections used to show how the relation of a part with a whole. So, when can we use a circle graph or a pie chart? If we want to create and represent something or the composition of something. We can also use pie chart or circle graph if we want to show percentage or proportional data. In other words, circle graph is used to show percentages of data. Keyword for the circle graph or pie chart is the percentages of data. For example, we have here 50 students were asked aside from your art area, which do you consider to try to? 46% of the students preferred applied arts, 26% of the students like music, and 28% of the students like performing arts. Since the given data show the percentages of each students who like each art area, therefore, we can use a pie chart or circle graph to represent or to present the data. So here are the other examples that we can use pie chart to present the data. Monthly allowance of an art student, schedule in a day of a media student, as well as the proportion of types of genres used in dance. Again, if we want to use pie chart or circle graph, you are going to show the percentages of the data. Next, let's proceed to the another type of graph. Let's have the color green. Can you decode this message? Anyone? This picture, what do you think is this picture? Minus ballet re plus this picture minus auto. Anyone? This picture used in the ballet dance. What do you think it is? Anyone? What is this picture? What do you think this picture is? This is? Yes, Darcy?
Ballerina po ba?
Ballerina. Nice try, Darcy. How about you, Lian?
Bar po ba?
Bar. Let's see. What is this picture first? Yes, John Bryle.
Ballet rehearsal po ba?
Ballet rehearsal. How about the others? The word that we can decode here is bar. But what is this picture? This picture is a ballet bar. So this thing is what we call a ballet bar. So when we subtract ballet and the RE, we have here bar. How about this one? Yes, Alexa. Alexa. Okay, let's have EJ.
Ma'am, autograph po.
So this is a autograph. Very good. then minus the word auto. Therefore, what will be our second type of graph? Angela?
Bar graph po.
Okay, so we have here the bar graph. Very good. So this is what a bar graph looks like. As you can see here. Yes, Mark Leo, do you have any question? So as you can see here, we have here the bars to represent a data. So when to use a bar graph? Kindly read. Anyone? Yes, Cyril.
Bar graph. It is used for making direct visual comparison of data.
Thank you, Cyril. So if we want to represent a data using a bar graph, it should be a comparison between each data. We can also use a bar graph if we want to compare data among different categories, as well as to show large data changes over time. We are going to use bar graph if we want to compare data among different categories. Comparison. The keyword for the bar graph is the comparison among different categories. So let's have here an example. So we have here 20 grade 7 students joined the poster making contest held in Arsaa. The data below show the materials used by the students to color their posters. So as you can see here, we have here different categories: color pencil, crayons, watercolor, and oil pastel. Therefore, we are going to use a bar graph to represent this data. So this is what a bar graph looks like. We can also use bar graph if we want to present number of students who are soprano, bass, tenor, baritone, and alto. And if we want to present also the kinds of a movie that students use to watch the most. Next, let's proceed to our third type of graph. We have here the yellow one. Can you decode this message? This picture plus this picture minus ing and paper. What do you think is this picture? Anyone? Darcy?
Lines.
Okay, so we have here line. Plus, how about this picture? Isabel?
Wrapping paper po.
Okay, so we have here wrapping paper. Good job. So we are going to subtract ing and paper. Therefore, what will be our third type of graph? Yes, Anshurina?
Line graph po.
Okay, so we have here line graph. So this is what a line graph looks like. As you can see here, we have here lines to represent or to present a data. So we have here lines. And also, as you can see here, it can go up and it can also go down. So a line graph is made up of two scales, which are the vertical scales and the horizontal scales. In the vertical scale, we can see here the quantity or the frequency of the data, while in the horizontal scale is the time. So when to use a line graph? Anyone? Kindly read. Yes, Mishka?
Line graph. It is used in presenting data that indicate trends over a period of time.
Okay, thank you, Mishka. So in a line graph, we are going to present the data that indicate trends. When we say trends, it can go rise or fall, or rising and falling over a period of time. We can also use data when comparing two or line graph rather, when comparing two or more different variables, situations, and information over a period of time. Also, if you want to make predictions based on a data history over time. So the keyword for the line graph is to show trends. To show trends over a period of time. For example, we have here Nelly joined an online poster making contest. She posted her work on her timeline and let her FB friends react to it, as this is one of the criteria. The table shows the number of reactions that Nelly's work received per day in a week. So we have here days. So this will be the time and the number of reactions. So this will be the frequency or the quantity. So this will be the line graph for this data. So we have here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or the time, and the quantity or the frequency of the reaction or the number of reactions that Nelly's work received per day in a week. We can also use line graph if we want to show the sales of the photograph of a media students in a month, and if we want to show FB viewers of JC's spoken word poetry in a week. So as of now, we have 3 types of graphs: circle graph or pie chart that show percentages of data. Next, we also have the bar graph, or to compare data among different categories. We also have here the line graph, or the line graph used to show the trends over a period of time. Let's proceed to the fourth type of graph. We have this one. What will be this one? Can you decode the message? We have your ancient, medieval, Renaissance, Baroque, Rococo. What will be these words or this picture denoted? Yes, Angela?
Century po.
Century. Nice try, Angela. How about Daniel?
Phases po or stages.
Again,
Phases po or stages.
places or stages. Nice try, Daniel. How about Mark Leo? Mark Leo, what will be this picture denoted? It says it's spaces. Daniel said face, it's spaces. How about Mark Leo? You don't have a microphone, you can type your answer on the chat box. How about Mary Angel?
History po.
Very good. So we have here history. Then we will subtract RY, therefore it will become histo. Then what will be this picture denoted? Yes, John Bryle?
Gram po.
Okay, so we have here gram. Therefore, what will be our fourth type of graph? Yes, Aries.
Histogram po.
Okay, very good. So we have here histogram. So this is what a histogram looks like. As you can see here, just like bar graph, we also use bar to represent this data. But unlike bar graph, what do you think is the difference between the two? Anyone? By these pictures or figures, what do you think is the difference between these two? Yes, Jazzy?
Sa histogram po, magkatabi po sila. Sa bar graph po, hindi magkahiwalay.
Okay, good observation. Good observation, Jazzy. So, unlike bar graphs, so we have here bar graphs, histograms have no spaces between them, while bar graphs have. There are spaces between the bars. Okay, so when to use a histogram, kindly read. Kindly read, Julian.
Histogram. It is used to show the number of data points that fall within the specific range of values.
Okay, so we are going to use histogram if you want to show the number of data points within a specified range. Okay, we can also use histogram if you want to see whether the outputs of 2 or more processes are different, as well as if we want to represent the shape of the data's distribution. Keyword for the histogram is the range, or with specified range of values. For example, we have here the table shows the number of students of Ang Nuno Dance Group according to the amount of time they spent on their dance practice on a daily basis. So as you can see here, we have here the intervals in R. Therefore, we can use histogram to represent this data. Okay, we can also use histogram with these other examples: heights of the members of Ang Nuno Dance Group and the sizes of canvas in poster making used by visual art students. Okay, now let's proceed to our last type of graph for today. We have the blue color. Kindly decode the message given here. This word or this letter plus this picture minus PAINTIN plus this figure minus F. Can you give me what will be the fifth type of graph? Anyone? This picture or this letter plus this picture. What will be this picture? Denoted? Yes, this is a painting. So we have here O plus painting minus PAINTIN, which will become G. Then, what will be this figure means? Yes, Angela?
5 po.
Okay, so we have here, very good, we have here 5. Then, minus F. Therefore, what will be our fifth type of graph? Yes. Cyril?
Ogive po.
It's ogive or ogive. It is pronounced as ogive. Okay? So our last type of graph for today is the ogive. So this is what an ogive looks like. So you can see here, just like a line graph, we are going to use line to represent the data. But how do these two differ from each other? Anyone? Here is the ogive. At the bottom one is the line graph. What will be the difference between these two? Daniel?
Ma'am, yung isa po hanggang 100 lang, yung isa po hanggang 1,000.
Okay. Nice observation. But how about the direction of the line? Thank you, Daniel. Anyone? How about the direction of the line? Let's have Angela.
Ma'am, parang pataas po ng pataas yung isa, tapos yung isa po parang pataas na pababa po.
Okay. Good observation, Angela. So the direction of the lines in a line graph, so we have here the line graph, it can go up and it also can go down. While in the ogive, it only goes up because when can we use the ogive? Kindly read. Yes, Alexa.
Ogive. It is used to show cumulative frequency for a frequency distribution.
Okay, thank you, Alexa. So, an ogive it's used to show cumulative frequency. When we say cumulative, it is increasing. Therefore, if we want to show the cumulative frequency of an ogive, this is what it looks like. It goes up. It increasing over a period of time. Yes, EJ? Do you have any question? So, okay, that's okay, EJ. So, when to use a ogive? We can also use ogive if we want to estimate how many numbers lie below or above a particular variable or value in data. And also if we want to show cumulative frequencies. Again, for the keyword for the ogive, we have here the cumulative frequency. It goes increasing over time. For example, we have here Jenny, a member of Camera Obscura. asked to take photos of the ongoing event in the school. The data below show the time passed in taking 15 photos. So as you can see here, we have here the cumulative frequency from the number of photos in 1 to 5 minutes, 3, then from 6 to 10 minutes, it's added by 2. Therefore, there is already 5 photos after 10 minutes. That will be the ogive, or we can use ogive to present this data. So we are going to identify first the upper class limit, the cumulative frequency. Then we are going to plot the points, just like this one. As you can see here, it increasing. That's how an ogive works. So as of now, we have here 5 types of graphs, which are pie chart or circle graph, bar graph, line graph, histogram, and ogive. So, what appropriate graph should we use to represent the data in our ensemble time a while ago? What do you think will be the appropriate graph should we use to present the data? Is it the pie chart, line graph, ogive, bar graph, or histogram? So we have here our data, the percussion, the string, the woodwind, and brass. What do you think is the best graph to use? Yes, Alexa?
Bar graph po.
Bar graph? Why do you think the best to use is a bar graph? Alexa? What do you think? Why do you think the best to use is a bar graph? Daniel?
Ma'am, pie chart po ang sa akin.
Pie chart? Why pie chart?
Kasi po for me, yun po yung pinakamadaling gawin po. Tsaka po yun, para sa akin po, yun po yung pinakasimpleng gawin.
Okay. So, as what we have said a while ago, pie chart is used to show percentages of data. But we have only here the categories for the musical instrument family and its number of instrument. We can use pie chart if we want to show percentages of each instrument family. So, the most appropriate graph should we use is bar graph, because we want to compare the number of instruments in each family. So, very good, Alexa. So, how to create a bar graph? We have here 5 step-by-step process. For the step 1, we are going to create a frequency distribution table, just like what we have discussed last week. Then, we are going to decide the range and scale of the vertical and horizontal axis. So we have here the frequency as the vertical axis, and the horizontal axis is the musical instrument family. Then we are going to draw the vertical and horizontal axis and label them. Then after that, write the graph title at the top. Then mark the data on the graph for each data group. Then draw the bar. So we have here our FDT, or the frequency distribution table, with the frequency and the categories for each musical instrument family. Then we have here our vertical axis, the frequency, and the horizontal axis, the musical instrument family. We are going to draw them. So we have here 0 to 6 or 0 to 5, since 5 is the highest frequency. Then the percussion, then string, the woodwind, and the brass as the musical instrument family. We are going to write the graph title at the top, which will be the number of instruments in each family. Then we are going to mark the data on the graph for each data group. So we have here the percussion with 5 as its frequency. So we have 5. Then we will draw the graph, as well as the string, the woodwind, and the brass. This will be the bar graph of our data here, the musical instrument family. Okay,